After making his way onto the scene back in 2019, injuries, lack of pieces, and a bunch of other stuff have kept him from doing his thing. But I think Lamar Jackson has what it takes to dominate once again.
Jackson keeps, gets it, and goodbye. Touchdown, Lamar Jackson, right up the gut.
Before we talk about what I think he's going to do, we got to go back to the beginning of his time in the NFL.
I can see you a little bit upset, a little deterred.
I'm a Raven. It's on. All year, every year. Yes, sir.
Considering how well he played at Louisville, the fact that Lamar dropped to the end of the first round was a bit disrespectful, and although Lamar didn't do much as a rookie behind Flacco, the following year, my man popped off.
Here's Lamar on a run.
Look at him turn back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles!
I don't have to tell you why, because if you watched the NFL in 2019, you saw one of the best single seasons of a quarterback in NFL history. Somehow Lamar was able to beat Vic's rushing record by nearly 200, along with over 3,036 touchdowns through the air. It doesn't get much more dual threat than that, and so it wasn't a surprise that he earned some hardware.
In fact, it's Lamarvelous. So congratulations to this year's most valuable player, Lamar Jackson.
Following such a ridiculous season, many thought that Lamar had the potential to become one of the best quarterbacks in football. And although he wasn't able to put up as many yards passing and rushing the following year, his near 3,000 passing and over 1,000 rushing were still able to prove that he was one of the best dual threat players in the league. But it was a bit too good to be true, as last year Lamar had to struggle with injuries and toss a few more picks than normal, as it seemed like he had to carry the Ravens offense single-handed. Guys like Rashad Bateman, J.K. Dobbins, and good old Gus the Bus Edwards made it difficult Lamar, along with the fact that he lost Lamar Ingram to Houston, as Lamar was somehow the leading rusher by nearly 200 in only 12 games. In a lot of ways, I feel like this was in a way Lamar's sophomore slump, as he was never really able to get into a groove because of injuries and a lack of weapons, and I think it's caused many to overlook his insane talent. I think many, including myself, have forgotten about just how good Lamar played back in 19. I mean, it was 3 years ago, but there's no doubt that he still has that dog in him. And if you add that to the fact that he is jacked as a hammer, you got what many consider one of the most dangerous players in the league looking like DK. Defenders could barely bring him down when he was skinnier, so how are they going to stop him with 15 more pounds of muscle? But anyways, needless to say, I think Lamar wants to get back to MVP form as much as anyone out there, and his mentality is helping that quite a bit. That mindset allowed him to put on the weight in the first place, and has him feeling good with the added durability that you get when you're as bulky as he is now. Along with that, his personal quarterback's coach has helped sharpen his passing and keep him from throwing some wobblers here and there, which is pretty dang important considering that throughout his entire career, the main insult has been that he's a running back and shouldn't be passing the ball in the first place, which in itself is a wild statement and will be even more so debunked this time around. I mean, if training camp is evidence enough, Lamar has already been throwing tighter spirals, and it seems like the passes have a bit more zip on him than before. Now all he really has to do is establish chemistry with an in and out receiver room that is in desperate need of some consistency. The fact that his former number 1 is now in Arizona will make this a bit more difficult than it would have been otherwise, but Lamar has proven that he can perform in nearly any situation, and with some help coming his way, I think he can bounce back big time. You just know that Lamar is going to rush for around 1,000 as long as he stays healthy. And even though J.K. Dobbins is back from injury, I'll say that he'll still put up around 1,000 or 1,100. And in terms of the passing game, although Lamar usually hovers around 3,000 and 30 touchdowns, I think he's going to put up a career best like 3,800 and 37, as I think he'll reestablish himself as one of the premier quarterbacks in football. Are those MVP type numbers? Honestly, yeah. But you gotta understand that with the MVP comes storylines. And like I've mentioned numerous times, I think guys like Josh Allen, Herbert, and Burrow have a much better shot considering the fact that they haven't won one already. It's the main reason why I don't think Lamar will win without a dominant year, like these stats could entail. Because I think he would have to up his MVP production in order to keep in the running, all things considered. Even though a lot of this is up in the air, I think Lamar has an insane motivation to become one of the best players, not just quarterbacks in football, and I think he'll show it this year. But anyways, what do you guys think? Is Lamar going to do his thing once again, or is that all in the past? Let me know your thoughts. Lamar Jackson is an athletic freak, and although injuries, a lack of help, and struggles of all sorts have kept him from taking that next step, I think he has what it takes to become that guy once again.
I'm a Raven. It's on. All year, every year. Yes, sir.
To escape for the time being. And Lamar Jackson trying to run away from some people. Still on his feet.
Thanks for watching the video. If if you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below what stuff you want next. But anyways, see you all soon. Peace out.